Yo, what's happening, Raider Nation? Raiders versus the world. You know what it is. Talking about the team that the world loves to hate because they ain't us. Your Las Vegas Raiders. Okay, got a story for you right now. It was reported that Tom Brady's agent told reporter Timothy Rapp that Tom Brady intends to fulfill his 10-year contract with Fox. Sounds kind of crazy, right? Because Tom Brady has said also at the same time to be very involved in the head coach and the general manager search for the Raiders. He's part owner. He's in the meetings. He's in the decision-making process. How is he going to do it all? I'll tell you something right now. It's going to be tough considered, how hands-on I believe he's going to want to be. Tom Brady is a fierce competitor. He's like one of the, you ask anybody who's ever played with or against him, this guy is like competitor to the max. Anything that he does, he wants to be the best. Now, we're not going to talk about his job as a broadcaster too much because he's got a lot of handcuffs, okay? And we'll get to that in a second. But if he's going to be involved and hands-on in the goings-on and the decision-making, CEO level decision making of the Raiders, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it all because there's going to be if he's going to kind of unseat Mark Davis as the buffer between the majority owner and what happens, decisions that trickle down to the field. It seems to me that Tom Brady would have to be more present, in the Raiders organization. I'm not sure how present he was once he signed the paperwork and was voted in as a minority owner, because he still had, his job to do on the weekends, announcing games. But there is some issues, and there's also some reasons to think that he can actually get this done. He has to do a lot of homework on his own because he's not allowed at the team facilities. He's not allowed to talk to players or coaches or anybody. He's not allowed to be in production meetings. He's not allowed to be in any. He can look at the notes and he can check out everyone's notes, but he can't be in there himself, which means he pretty much doesn't travel till like the day before the game, right? Because he's not there. Like if on a game on Sunday, your travel day is probably Friday, and you talk to players, and then you have your production meeting the day before, and it's like he doesn't do all that because he can't do any of that. Okay. Now, what he can do and what he has been doing is when the team stretches out and they're warming up, he can talk to the players, he can talk to the coaches, he can talk to the general managers and the assistants and all that stuff on the field. What gets talked about on the field, your guess is as good as mine. I have no freaking clue. But knowing Tom Brady, being Tom Brady and the uber competitor, and he's been known to skate the rules a little bit, I'm pretty sure he's kind of pushing the envelope on what he's talking about. So this is a scenario where, yeah, it could be a possibility, but I don't know, man. Look, mixed results, up and down his first season. I was pretty bummed because he knocked off Greg Olsen, was from the number one crew into the number two crew. I like Greg Olsen a lot as a announcer. I think he's really good. Now, Brady was okay. He was decent. The issue that we're having here is he's handcuffed not only what he can do as far as access, Brady's handcuffed on what he can say. He can't openly criticize other teams. He can't criticize players, coaches. He can't criticize the refs. He just can't do any of that stuff. Basically, what he's left doing is calling what he sees, maybe what he thinks is going to happen, and just pulling from his own experience, which is, a lot, like 20, plus years in the NFL, but he doesn't have the same access and the same insight that other guys have, and he can't really spend that much time going over notes of interviews because he can't do those interviews, days before the game. So I don't know, man. It's a rough one for me simply because I know how competitive he is. And right now that competitive juice was flowing in the announce booth. He wanted to be the best announcer he can be. My take is I think Brady is feeling the effects of the limitations that he has as a broadcaster. He doesn't have the same access as others. He doesn't have the same insight as others. He doesn't have the same time to go over newer, fresher information, very poignant information for those specific games. It's more of a general sense. That's one thing. And that's part of the storytelling. As far as what he sees on the field, there's nobody better than that because he knows exactly what he's seeing from both the offense and the defensive side. What tells me that maybe he won't fulfill his $10 million. I mean, it's 10 million. Yeah, right. Like it's 10 million. It's like 375 million over 10 years. But his 10-year contract is, I think the limitations are going to frustrate him because he's not able to be as good as he knows he can be as a broadcaster because he can't meet with the teams and the players and go to different facilities and go to the production meetings. Like he can't do any of that stuff. Because of that, I feel maybe another year, 2 tops before he just breaks away from the announcer's booth and goes to running the Raiders operations full time. It's an issue that is, I mean, great to have. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's making a ton of money being an owner for the Raiders. It'd be pretty hard for anybody. I don't care how much money you have in the bank. It'd be pretty hard to turn down $37.5 million a year over 10 years. I just don't know that Brady's competitive juices, especially if the team isn't winning and doing as well as he wants them to do, he's going to want to be there more. He's going to want to be more hands-on. Now, here's the other side of the coin. If things end up going a lot better and flipping around, because look, people say that windows close really fast in the NFL. Guess what? They open just as fast too. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that this Raiders team just jumps up and is, a contender for, to go deep in the playoffs this next season. If that's the case, what if Brady wants to maximize the winning capabilities of this team and spend more time with the team rather than spend the time leaving the team and going to the booth? Because look, man, as it is, he's not watching any of his games live. I mean, he's an owner of the team, but he's watching another team play when his team is playing. Kind of weird. I know. I don't know, man. It's a tough one for me to call simply because which one's going to win? Because he's competitive no matter what. Is he going to be okay with the limitations that are going to stop him from being the best he can be as an announcer? Or at the same time, is he going to handcuff himself by not giving himself the amount of time and attention he needs to take away from the broadcasting and focus solely on the Raiders? So that's another thing too, is he's not given 100% on either side, because inherently the way it's set up already as a broadcaster, he's not going to be able to give 100% because he doesn't have 100% access. On the other side is he himself, his choice to be a broadcaster is taken away from his ability to be an owner 100% of the time. That's a tough one, man. I really don't know. But if Brady says he wants to fulfill his $10 million, I said $10 million again. It's like $10 million is a lot of money for me, but dude, $37 million a year. If he's going to give up $37.5 million a year, it better be for a dang good reason. And that dang good reason has to be the Raiders getting pushed over the top, him putting more attention into the team and pushing them forward to be the best team they can be. What do you think, guys? Do you think that Tom Brady is going to announce for 9 more seasons out of his 10-year, $375 million deal? Or is the itch going to be too much? Are the limitations going to be too much for him in the booth? Are his own self-imposed limitations by not being with the Raider team 100% of the time and not being able to watch his own team play live? Is that going to be too much? How long is Tom Brady going to be announcer? Let me know below. Everybody, thank you very much. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It is the absolute minimum you can do to help this channel besides doing absolutely nothing. All right, guys. Until next time, everybody. Peace.